How do we measure port CSA? Let's talk about it. All right, guys, we had some questions about how to measure odd shape CSA. It can always be a challenge, so I thought I'd go through a few things that we do and a few different ways to do it. I've done everything from CAD to scanning to making stickers to cardboard to all sorts. So I thought we'd go through them really quickly. Some odd shapes like these that have different radiuses. You can use the Einstein app for these, really simple, because it's just length, width, and then you can enter each different radius. So if that's like an 8 mil or a 5/16, and that's like a 5/8 or 3/4, 19 mil, and this one's like a 22, you can just enter them into the app and it'll calculate it for you. And then we get into more difficult shapes like this. With different radiuses, I tend to break them up. I'll break that up into a rectangle or something. And then work out what the radiuses are and do a little bit of math. It can get a little bit tricky, but what do? You just got to work your way through it. As I said, things like this I can do in CAD a little bit quicker and easier. If you're familiar with CAD and you want a video on that, how to do it in CAD, let me know and I'll do one. Another really quick way is an old favorite from lots of guys, just simple grid paper. And like this. So obviously this is a big port. This is like an RB26, RB25 port. And grid paper already has your areas in it, 5x5. So all you need to do is, so you can, if you're doing a window or something, you can rub a bit of grease around it and hardline it and then trace around the port. Or you can glue this to cardboard. You can trim it up, throw it on a scribe and put it in the port and see how it fits, and then just trim it a bit more. It's a little bit of a stuff around, but you can play around with that and get it pretty close. And then all you do is add all your fulls up first, and then your extras, so all your halves and quarters and stuff like that, you make an educated guess. Go around, count them, add them all up. So 2 halves of 1, 4 quarters of 1, so stuff like that, a 3/4 and a quarter, or a 2/3 and a 1/3. And you just go through and add them all up. Find out your total number of squares, and then you can do some simple math and you know what the square area is. They're 5x5, so that's 25 square meters each. 25 square millimeters each. Obviously I've drawn this bigger just so you can see it, but that's another simple way to be able to establish what the port CSA is. And you can make a couple of different, you just buy these books, and like I said, you can stick them to a bit of cardboard, and that way you can lineage them to shape. If you want to fit them in, you punch a hole through them and bolt them to a bit of aluminium pipe or something. You can stick them in the port and just see where they need trimming till they fit right, and then just add them up. Or as I said, put them in CAD. Another one of my favorite is port molding. So I'll just turn the camera around and we'll talk about port molds and what you can see, and you can cut them up and all sorts. All right, so here's a few of my port molds. So we've got like Honda K series. This is a finished one that we just, this has got a bit of ink on it. I don't know what happened there, but actually that's the standard port, I think. Yep, standard K series. I've got before and after. This is 4AG. So that is the before. So you can see the divider and the pockets here, and the horrible core shift around the seats, and the dip in the entry and the kick down. And this is our finished mold. So better shape in the dividers, better short turn, fixing the window, fixing all that, fixing all this. So much better. Our 2Js, sorry, that's 2J. These are our 1UZs, which we had really good success with. This is my 320 CFM 1UZ. So that's the factory one. Also had questions about injector delete. So this is a great example of that. Someone was asking if we move the injector up, should we block this? 100%, because it is a dead area. And that will create turbulence. And when we see turbulence, we're losing density because to heat and so on and so on. But that's a stock 1UZ non-VVTi Toyota V8 quad cam 32 valve. You can see they've got horrible transitions. They've got a little kick down out of the window, kick up at the top. The dividers aren't great. They're also offset, so this one's straighter than this one. And this is my full race version. We actually weld the port up, we lift it, so it's up about sort of like, sorry, the other way. It's about that. So we go almost all the way into that injector area. We straighten the line, we fix the floor, we fill the floor, we lift it, we fix the divider. And to look at those two, you'd say, oh, there's not a lot of difference, and the window sizing is pretty close. It's only about 50 or 100 square millimeters difference, but you've seen we've gone from a less squish to a little bit more of a thicker rectangle. That's one of my biggest ports, but the center line actually changed. So this is a shorter length port than this one, but this is 200 CFM and that's 320 CFM. And this port is only about, I think it worked out about 12 cc's bigger. No, 10 cc's bigger, this one, I think. Yeah, so not a lot. But again, we target this one was designed for like 9 to 10,000 RPM. But this is another way that you can do it, and you can actually cut this. You can ink stamp it on paper, on that contact paper, and measure it, or you can trace around it if you want to cut it into sections. Not the easiest to cut, so take your time. What are these? These are 1Js, 2J, 1Js. Yeah, I've done a lot of port molding. I like this, just the visualization to be able to see what you've done. And then you can also measure it with calipers much easier with a set of verniers. So that's another way of doing it. You can put radius gauges on and measure it quite easily this way. So that's what's that? EJ20. So that's another way that you can attack this process of measuring and trying to find the CSA. It is a little tricky, and the more you do it, the easier it gets, like anything. But yeah, that's how I go about it. I've got a ton of ways. I really like port molding, not even just for the quick measurements you can take, but the visualization to see a port, like, you know, just looking at that and looking at the transition from, you know, the short turn, the way it feeds into the main vent of the port. You can see it's not great. But yeah, as I said, you get stuff like this, and you can see we have better transitions, better short turn. It looks a lot better. And you can see that's going to flow, especially if you've done enough cylinder head work, the divider shape, the tail in. And we did a lot on this one, putting the C shape in it, because the factory one is just straight up and down there, right? It's dead straight. And I've talked about this before, about not having vertical dividers, putting a little bit of shape in them. So we V'd it up into this section, and I blended it a little bit here, and we put a little concave in it. So it's got more of a C shape in it, so that your transition length over that is longer. So, but yeah, guys, that's it. As I said, there's no real tricks to it. The paper works well, molds work well. Some basic maths and drawing on the board can also work for you, but yeah, just find the best way to do it. But yeah, once you get those odd shapes, if you can measure them and draw them up, or have some way of even linishing a bit of timber and getting it in there in the port, so you can, like, it wedges in, you know, it fits, and you can see if there's air or whatever, and just trim it up till it fits nicely and it's rubbing everywhere. And then you can lay that over some graph paper and see how it actually comes up. Yeah, anyway, hopefully that helps, guys. I'll see you in the next one.